DoubleTap by Submission Audio is a plugin to take your low end, your bass, your earth-shattering subsonics to the next level. In this video you will find out if DoubleTap is a great tool for you, and I'm not saying that because this video is sponsored by Submission Audio. I didn't agree on doing this video before checking out DoubleTap and confirming that this plugin is very useful for you. This plugin ticks all the boxes you want in a plugin in 2022. It's easy to use, it sounds good, it has built-in oversampling and it offers resizing. To say this plugin is simple is an understatement. There are 4 dials, a slider and 1 button. On the left you find a VCA compressor for the low end only. And on the right side you have a transparent VCA compressor for the entire audio. In the middle is a slider to add a saturation. From gentle glue-like to parallel aggressive saturation. I really like that the slider snaps to the middle of it. A tiny detail which tells me a lot of attention is put into this plugin. The EDM switch will let the plugin work more aggressively. The broadband compressor is more aggressive and the grunt saturation is multiplied by 4, so that will drive into distortion. You have an output volume control here and a low band volume control here. That low frequency band sits around 230 to 240 Hz, as you can see. It says shelf type. If you turn off the compressor fully in normal mode, you'll get a ratio of about 3:1. Now this plugin is obviously for bass mixing and it offers just a few controls. But the sound, the compression you get with the few controls are just right. And I don't want to sound like a commercial, so I'll show you that this is not a mood claim. First is this 90s neo-funk groove. The bass guitar is just a DI recorded bass, no processing happening otherwise. Let me turn on the double tap. This bass guitar just sits right. The dynamics have been contained nicely without sounding flat or overcompressed. Now with this next new metal groove, I want you to pay attention to the bass guitar. This is without double tap. And this is with. And this is in solo. I used the EDM setting on both compression controls to really add a constant thick low end. If you listen again in the mix, you will hear that the untreated bass guitar jumps out with the lowest note and is a bit buried for the rest. With double tap enabled, the bass guitar has this thick, constant low end and mixes very nicely. Double tap actually works well on these guitars. Let me enable it. Because of the range of the low end compression and shelf I showed before, it also adds a thick low end on these guitars. Let me bypass and enable both instances of double tap. Makes a lot of positive difference. Now let's switch to something with a 4 on the floor. On this bass I used the EDM setting to get saturation. If I need more saturation or distortion, I have to increase the input level. This can actually help to make your low end better audible on small speakers. Your sun fly, your window shadow. Double tap is also on this kick. I use it here to add warmth and fullness.
Your thin paper wings, your thin paper wings, in the wind, dangling.
You could hear with the previous 3 examples how DoubleTap actually will improve anything low-end. This will seriously be my new go-to plugin for low-end mixing. For me, the most outstanding feature of this plugin is how easily this low-end mixing is done. When I first tried the plugin, I used it on a bass guitar in a mix I was working on, and literally within minutes that bass was sitting in the mix perfectly. Now of course you probably will add automation and all according to the song you're working on, but this plugin will make sure that your low end will sound good. Link to DoubleTap is in the description below.